Hello, hello, my beautiful soul tribe. I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday. Just going to give everybody a few minutes to come on in. I didn't make any tea, no warm tea tonight. I brought some of my kombucha. Thought I would have some kombucha. I picked out a few decks. The kombucha this week is blueberry. My own homebrew again. Love the stuff. So that's what I'll be sipping on. Have some water, have some coffee. I'm really tired. So I still have kombucha, so the tea still represents. Hi, Antonia. Did you change your channel name, or is this a different one? Hello, come on in. Welcome in. This is my blueberry kombucha tonight. So good. I did forget to sweeten it up a little before I started, but I'll just have to make up for it with my personality. I'm gonna write down Antonia, and we'll just give it a few minutes. I was hoping we'd see a few more people come in. I'm gonna start with a general. That always helps. Picked out some decks. Hi, Cynthia. Hi. Oh my gosh, I love that. I didn't know you had two channels. So, is the other one just your personal channel? I'm going to have to go and subscribe to this one. Let's see if I can fat finger you and not block you this time. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. Here we go. Where is it? I think that's it. Okay. Oh, I can't wait to check it out. Click people out. Oh, well, I just gave you the power on the other one. So you can, I figured you could click people out no matter how you come in. You're welcome to it. You're welcome to it. So let's get started. Oh, I didn't even realize how many people came in since we were just messing around. I love you guys. So if anybody has wants to get added to the list, I'm going to start really quick with a general. I picked out a few decks. I was doing some organizing today, and I pulled some out that I haven't used on the channel in a hot minute. Oh, you guys should be scared. I'm just kidding. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Oh, I forgot to mute my phone. Somebody's dinging me. Sorry about that, guys. So, I don't know where we should start. I don't know. Does anybody follow Turning Tides Tarot? Because I absolutely adore her, and I picked up her personal deck that she created. And then I have this other one. They were both in the back, and it was really drawn to the contrast, you know, how they like balance out each other. So I figured we would start there. Hi, Jean. I'm gonna add you and add the other names that have come in. I'm gonna try to make the list really quick before I get shuffling. Let's see if I can also mute my dinging. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I'm just writing down names, guys, so that I have you guys all lined up and ready. Hello, Nightbot. Are you a bot? Are you a bot? Katie. KT. Is KT okay? I don't want to offend you if I shorten your name. Katie, we're just really quick. I'm going to do a general, and then if you have questions after the general, you're welcome to throw one up there, but I'll put your name in the list. If you decide you don't want one and you just move on or pass, that's fine too. Hi guys. Okay, I got a few names on. So let's dig into a general. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. I had a pretty fun week. I had to do some errands with my daughter that are out of the ordinary that kind of wiped me out for the weekend. But other than that, I've been feeling pretty good. So I hope you guys collectively are feeling pretty good. Oh, did Big 1111 come in? As soon as I set down my notebook. I see how you are. I see how you are. Spartak. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. All right, let's dig in. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with turning tides. Because these are really interesting, sort of like one line things. So everybody, you know, take a deep breath. Get your energy in. I love connecting. Let's see. Need time to heal myself came out, and I don't feel worthy of love. Ooh, there was something hiding under there. I care too much about what people think of me. So this is somebody that's really insecure, you know, but they might see that they're insecure based on conditioning, right? This is really heavy energy. I knew this deck was really heavy. I knew it was really heavy, guys. Sorry. I knew we were going to get into a heavy deck over here. But this is really, you know, touching on that need for introspection, that need for time, that need for rejuvenation, you know, but also knowing that you have to treat yourself with that type of love, you know, that not relying on external factors to meet those needs for you, like going within and making sure that their needs that you can meet, you're meeting yourself. And that's including love, right? Self-love. And like feeling worthy of it when you do that. You know, understanding that it's your divine birthright to take care of yourself, you know, to and this, I care too much about what people think of me. This could just be that insecurity, you know, the inability to put yourself out there. And it may be that you're seeing that this is conditioning from previous connections that you've been in, right? And so you may be projecting that trauma into new connections or future connections. And there may be a fear of doing that, right? So that's something that, you know, you really have to look at and work on, especially if you are an anxious attachment type, right? Ooh. All right. So there's a few that we got out. A lot of insecurity coming up. I really hope that our collective is moving through anything that's blocking them and anything that's making them feel insecure. If you're not, I'm sending you so much love because I know how it feels. Right? To feel like you have to mask to fit in a certain way, or that your light isn't appreciated where it is, you know, or how it is, how you're being received, you know. And it may just be like, how are you receiving yourself, right? Like start there. Look at how you're receiving yourself, how you're talking to yourself, how you are connecting with yourself. Yeah, there's a new phase. There's a new phase ahead. It says rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, right? There could be a change of mind, a change of heart. Right now could be a hermiting time of discernment to figure out what are these traumas and these wounds that are keeping you feeling stuck where you are or unable to move forward. Whether it's work, love, life, guys, take it how it resonates, put it where it fits. Ooh, sounded like something flipped. I don't see anything. Oh, the golden mirror. Self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. So these are things we're kind of being aware of. This may also be, you might run into this feeling where like, this could be one of the insecurities. Like you may not want to come across to somebody who's self-absorbed, narcissistic, or full of themselves when you want to insist on certain boundaries or certain needs to be met for yourself, certain desires that you have, right? Like you don't want to be a people pleaser, right? It's like you really there's a fine line between it, and I think that that's a lot what this is like, that balance of I was listening to the Plato's cave allegory. It keeps coming out on the Phoenix, guys, and that's the middle of the deck that I was splitting, so it's really interesting. So that's really cool. But I was listening to the audiobook while I was doing chores today of Plato's allegory for the cave, right? And I was also thinking about the Chariot allegory. I don't know if you guys are familiar with either, but it has a lot to do with like, ascension, right? And like the mastering of the light and the shadow and how to integrate the two, right? How to create this happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, this enjoyment, right? How the shadow and the light plays with each other. How the charioteer, for example, like think of the chariot card, the charioteer, for example, we have the shadow side. This is actually perfect. You have the shadow side, right? And you have the white horse, which is your light work that you're doing. It's like it's really easy for them to be distracted and pulled in either way. And the ego is the driver of the chariot, And it's all about really balancing that feeling of being worthy of these things, right? Without overstepping that boundary of being self-absorbed or full, narcissistic. Yeah, you also have to be aware how you're treating other people, like while you're processing traumas and various other emotional stuff that might come. The Phoenix came out, guys. I can't even make it up. The Phoenix came out. It seriously, new stuff, new phases, rekindling, renewing. It's a transformation. That ascension is the ability, that mastery of self, to have that chariot driver, undistracted and sending his horses exactly where they need to go. You know what I mean? Do you guys get that? In the cave allegory, it's about the illusion. It's kind of a lot of dualism in it, right? So there's the illusion of the shadows on the back of the cave, and you're a prisoner in the cave, and all you know for a long time is the shadow, right? And then somehow you get free, right? You become enlightened, and you start to move towards the light, right? And it's painful. Like you're blinded. You've been in this cave your whole life, and you're blinded, and it's really scary, right? These changes, these ascension, this rebirth, this rekindle, this renewal. And it like kind of knocks the wind out of you in a way. But it's like once you have that experience, I think part of it with Plato is that you kind of want to go back and you want to tell the other prisoners about it. But it might be, like how are you being received when you go back? Like, do you just forget and move and keep moving forward, right? Do you just keep your chariot going up higher and higher towards your divine path? Or do you take a pause and take the time to go back and express to people, what your experience is? They might not understand it, right? What is that, pearls before swine? Hi, Miss Cheyenne. Hi, Miss Cheyenne. I'm going to write you down. I'll write you down. Miss Cheyenne. So I really see that you guys are learning, is like doing the mastery of self here, like really trying to figure out the middle road. That I don't really like the term ego death for this reason, because who wants a chariot without a driver, right? Like what you guys are really learning to master self, you're really learning to take that energy that could be divided, chaotic, distracted, undriven, um, frictional, if that's a word I can use here. Something that creates friction, something that's creating some kind of imbalance in your life, and learning how to really um, pull it in, right? Pull it in and get it together there. So I love that for the collective. I think those are really good vibes. I know it started off really hard and rough there, but I love this energy of like really learning how to move in this direction, right? How to reinvent yourself, how to become the master of your ego, how to own, right? The accountability of loving yourself by basking in your own divinity, right? Understanding that you're right where you need to be on your path. So I'm going to get out another deck here. I'm not sure. I was actually going to grab another oracle, which is really unusual for me. But let's grab a tarot instead. Excuse me. My friend gave me this deck and I love it. So we will grab the black cat, excuse me, tack. Maybe you've been getting like caught up on words, and it could be this insecurity. It could be this feeling of unworthiness, maybe not speaking up. I know we talked last week a lot about throat chakra, but I really feel like this is more introspective this week. This is more being accountable, right? Being accountable for your own distractions, your own traumas, your own self-validation, right? Things we're not looking for externally. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the happiness. Exactly. Welcome to the happiness. Mastering that ego, right? Keeping yourselves less distracted from the 3D things. Putting aside, I think what Sadie said for my reading earlier today. Anybody who knows who Sadie is and was there, there were a lot of, there was like what, the nine of wands and the Knight of Wands, and it's like just putting down what's weighing you down so you can get up and go, like putting down these feelings of not feeling worthy, that not letting that black horse in the chariot, right? Not letting that black horse in the chariot pull you off, right, in other directions. Keeping to your healing path, keeping to your light work, keeping to moving onwards and upwards in your ascension, right? Justice. I love that. It could be a Libra here. You could be a Libra. Could be reading about a Libra. Yeah, Miss Cheyenne, we can do that later, hon. So we have this Justice card. Yeah, I'll message you later, okay? That's not a problem at all, hon. So we have the Justice card, and it's like, that, again, we're bringing in that energy of balancing, right? The dark and the known and the unknown, and also like bringing ourselves back into the present moment. A lot of times we find that these feelings of inadequacies it just takes a matter of you're maybe caught up in fears of the past or anxious about things that are to come, and you're not actually being present in your own life. And so this may be a call to be present in your own life. to cut away the distractions that are keeping you from being able to do that. Yeah, yeah, putting down those wands, and coming away from anything that is, takes you off your higher path. And that thing of like, you may have, people don't like change, right? So say you're a prisoner that gets out of the cave, right? And you're trying to go back and help other people get out and they just don't want to go with you. You have to accept that about people. You have to, we just had that one in reverse. You have to be able to accept that about people. Strength in reverse. You have to be able to put down these wands. You have to be able to not, it's like choosing your battles wisely energy. And I think that's the point of the Chariot, or not analogy, it's an allegory, excuse me. The Chariot allegory is that, that black horse is that one that like just wants to drag you, that shadow that always wants to drag you down, these fears, these insecurities, these things that cause the friction between you and other people. It's like the filters of your trauma, right? I love these cat cards, by the way. I think they're so adorable. Look at that. Love the strength card too. But it's really just all about, you guys owning who you are, right? Being authentic, always putting yourself out there, always letting yourself shine, always seeing that there's new opportunities fresh right around the corner. And not getting so excited about the new opportunities coming in that you can't be excited about the opportunities you have right now, right? You really have to be able to do that. You really have to be able to get grounded in your presence and enjoy it. The moment you allow that happiness, right, this paradise into your presence, guilt-free, right, free from the fear of how other people might feel when you put yourself first, right? The moment that you start doing that and making that shift, the moment you start attracting in that type of appreciation and energy into your life. And it's because you're not looking for it externally, right? You're creating the space for it internally so that it has somewhere to flow to. I think of like a sink, right? Like a skimmer on a pond draws the pond water into it, right? To filter out the stuff, right? So it's like we're making the space. We're drawing that energy towards us so that we can pull it in and so that we can bathe ourselves in it, so that we can dip our toes in the success of self-love, I love that. We should definitely be dipping our toes. I need a sip. And we're going to start personals here pretty soon as we talk about dipping our toes into self-love. I love this. This is a really good vibe. I hope it's resonating, guys. And we will get started here with the personal portion. I just want to get another sip, see if there's anybody else. Do we have any specific questions today? Anybody want to ask anything specifically? I have more decks down here too to draw from today. I really was feeling the black and white vibe on this, but I love that this has gold too, because I really am looking for the balance today, looking for that fine line between paradise and narcissism, right? It sometimes, especially if you've been raised in situations where you've had to go above and beyond to be a people pleaser and still not feel appreciated, it can be really hard from that conditioning, right? To come out of that people pleasing energy and to want to fix and redirect and it's a really interesting challenge to allow yourself to love you after certain traumas, right? And some people they can't relate to what that might feel like. They can't, you can't express it to them, right? They won't understand it. And so that's why it's so important not to look externally. I'm sipping still, guys. Sorry. I am here. That's why it's so important not to look externally, right? For that validation and stuff, and how to find it and go within to appreciate ourselves, because you're not always going to be met with somebody that can understand your trauma responses, and you're not always going to be able to understand theirs, right? We're seeing through the filters of our own experiences. I was thinking earlier this week about the color scientist. It's a thought experiment in psychology, which that's how I got connected into thinking about the cave today, because the cave reminds me of the same kind of thought-provoking material where, like, if a woman is raised in a black and white world completely, but she's studied everything about color, right? And she knows everything there is scientifically to say about color, but she's never experienced it. Does she gain new knowledge by going outside? So it's a really interesting thing to think about, right? And it really starts to pull into that emotional experience, like being able to validate your own experience of something, right? And you could go back into that room and you could tell her all about what your experiences are. Is she actually going to get it? Right? Can she understand it? Because she's looking through the filter of black and white, right? Even if she knows everything there is to know about it on paper. I don't know. It's a very interesting, it's a fun thought experiment. I love the juxtaposition of that against the cave and allegory. I don't know if you're into that kind of things. The psychology and the philosophy really like play into each other. I really enjoy it. So let's see. We're going to start with Antonia. Antonia, hun, did you have any questions tonight? Did you have anything specific? Thank you, Cynthia. Whatever you need to know, Jean. Oh, I know she's out there. There she is. Oh, nope, that's Cynthia coming up. You're welcome, Cynthia. Sometimes I joke that I'm full of useless knowledge, but I don't think it's really all that useless. I think that these little people have been thinking about these things for thousands of years, and I like to just see what other people have said or shared. I mean, it's like cutting corners, Get a little thought experiment here and there. What spirit wants to share with Antonia? Antonia, I'm going to switch up the decks. I am being called to the Crow Tarot. I love this deck. Let's pull this out. I think I'm getting ready for spring. I don't see my crow friends in the winter much, and I'm really missing them. So hopefully we start seeing them. Aw, yeah. It's really funny because as I'm talking about missing my crow friends, we have crows in the hermit here in winter. And that's exactly how that's exactly how I've been this winter. I don't know if you guys are hermiting at all, but it has definitely been a look at on the split. I just told you guys about the chariot analogy, or I'm going to keep saying that, allegory. Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. To get hermiting, just as I was saying that about crows, and then to get the chariot. We just had that conversation. So there could be a lot of movement, guys, out of this hermiting energy, right? Movement towards goals, movement towards higher timelines. These cards are a little stiff, so I'm shuffling them a little funny. Sorry. My hands are tiny. Nothing specific. Whatever comes up and out. What is in the cards for Antonia? I see the moon in reverse, so something will be enlightened. Six of Swords has been coming up for me all day today. All week. Six of Spades, Six of Spades, Six of Swords. So that's just moving towards calmer waters, That's moving away from those distractions and those areas of your life that are causing friction. And like understanding that those areas, a lot of them are probably rooted in the past and or the future and not really things that are affecting the present. I think that's a really huge part of that movement. So we have 7 of Wands in reverse. So again, it's like not letting people burst that bubble on you, right? But I also could get this energy of like not letting yourself work together with people. Like you may be struggling right now to feel like you can align with others on either a large project or just on in the community in general. Oh, you just said you have an introverts page. That's cheating. Of course you're struggling working with others, right? And of course I would see the hermiting for you. So that makes sense. So let me just, confirm for myself what's sticking out here. Again, justice. That's the second deck in a row that we got justice out, just like that. So we are talking about like bringing in this balance because it's not that you don't want to work with people. It's just that it's difficult. It feels foreign. You might have these insecurities about how you're going to be received. And really, it's just like, I love this. Stay strong. This is not strength, but it reminds me of the strength card. So King of Wands, right? Stay strong and steadfast in who you are in this. Let your light shine. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of abundance. There's a lot of growth here. Okay. There's a lot of wisdom and understanding. I love these are both crowned. So Antonia, crowned. I love it. Right? But there might be something there that you can do with the crown chakra too. Okay. So if you feel like, amen. If you feel like your connection with spirit isn't very clear right now. Like you see the red over, like looking up at the crown. It's right there. Like it's right there. If you don't feel like you've been crowned yet, it is literally right there. Okay. And it might be receiving it. And it might be in not being too excited about it being in the future and just accepting. Right? Just accepting. I love that. I love that. They're really popping out for you. Hey, 10 of Wands. Why? But you know what I see here? This is really cool because how is he carrying those wands? It's like taking what you've learned. It's like once you've taken it off and you can see what you have to work with, what you have to move, where you have to get to, it becomes like a tool, right? What once had you blind, what once had you blocked becomes like a huge asset. It's a huge way to move forward. So things that you once thought were burdens, things that you weren't once were stopping you from getting the crown is exactly how you move forward to work with other people and exactly how you end up achieving this growth. Right? This opportunity to sit down and receive and enjoy and have that happiness. That self-manifested happiness. And the thing is when you team up with other people who are doing the same thing, self-manifesting, learning how to take these tools and use them in beneficial ways for everybody, right? It's like you're bringing it in. It creates this abundance. We still have that red string coming through, that red, you're weaving it. That's what I'm hearing right now. You're weaving it. Ooh, weave away, girl. Weave it. Yeah, this is really fast paced. I feel like once you master the shining, right? Once you stop worrying about how your shine is received, it's going to be fast. It's going to be fast. But you can't like be in the future with it. You have to be in the now with it. Right? This looks like a wild horse. Right? And it's like you have to train your horse. You can't just throw 2 wild horses on your chariot and expect to get where you're going. You have to break your horses. You have to train them, right? They have to know where they're going. And it's really hard with that one stunted horse. It's always going to be pulling you back towards the shadows, but it's like really focus on that higher self, that timeline you're looking for. I'm sorry if your timeline involves working with other people and you really don't like it. Like, I can completely relate to it. I can completely relate. I adore you though. But that's your message. It's really just a whole lot of shine on. And I love that for you. And I love that we saw the chariot because I thought that that was really, oh, yay, Ava. So I thought that that was really, really awesome to see the chariot come out after that. So, Ava, I'm going to add you to the list if you make it. I know you are in England, so I know we're probably coming up on bedtime. So, there's a short list tonight, so this shouldn't be so bad. So we did Antonia, and we're going to move on to Cynthia. Cynthia, did you say, yeah, sorry, Antonia. Like, I feel it, though. I know exactly. I know exactly. You know. You're welcome, Antonia. I love you. Like, I read something today that was like, it was along the lines of like those small changes lead to big shifts, right? Those small little areas, as you chip away in small little areas, like the vision for it all is going to start to come together in big ways. Okay, so I really feel that for you. And I can't wait to hear more about how your channel's doing. I'm going to go over there and check it out right after this. So, Cynthia, what comes up and out? I have a deck for you, Cynthia. I don't know if you love it, but we're going to go there. And I think Sadie recently used this too, and that's probably why I was thinking of it. I love the tarot deck, the tattoo tarot. So let's pull that out. You're welcome. You're welcome, Antonia. I hope it was helpful. You know, really, I would really lean on that whole idea of using the things that were once slowing you down as means to spring yourself forward. Oh, spring. Antonia, you're in New York too, huh? I am feeling it. Like, right? Maybe that's that spring energy coming in. That renewal, that phoenix, that regeneration. Need some of that. Hey, we have a heat wave. I don't know, how warm did it get down there? We had like a whole 30 degrees today. It was beautiful. You could go sunbathing. Oh, good. Good. I hope some of the good ones too. Like some of it being maybe just the conditioning and getting over that. Let's see, Cynthia. Let's see, Cynthia, you said whatever. Yeah, whatever Cynthia needs to know. Whatever Cynthia needs to know. Oh, real fast. 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay, I love this in reverse because this is like coming out of an energy, right? This may be, it could also have been a fear of rejection that you're overcoming, or a fear of experiencing similar traumas that you might be overcoming, like traumas that you've experienced in the past, right? So we have the 2 of Swords and we have a 3 of Cups in reverse. I get that this might be a lot to do with having picked people in the past who didn't really appreciate you or treat you how they didn't celebrate you, is what I'm seeing. It was like, you know, having chosen people that weren't celebrating you, maybe putting people who weren't celebrating you over yourself for a while. And it's like really reconciling with how that felt, or like how it may have affected your life now. And again, I'm getting the reminder that you need to pull yourself into the present and remind yourself that you're safe now. Okay. And that you don't need to hold on to that energy or that fear of being able to make your own decisions for you, the best decisions, right? You may be like in a state of frozen and like unable to make Yeah, you may be unable to make decisions right now, like flight freeze, or what is it? Fight, flight, or freeze. You could be feeling like you're in a state of freeze over decisions, Cynthia, like having a hard time. And I get the feeling that it might even be romantic relationship or just connections with people. It could be just you want to avoid, you see the web, the spider web behind there. It's like wanting to avoid the same webs, right? But also, like, this could be like a cobweb energy. Like, am I holding on to the past? How do I cut that free so I can open up to this growth? I love that. I mean, I don't love that you're struggling with it, but I love that you're going within to see, oh, how not to struggle with it. Did you see that? And that reminds me, is I didn't grab us tea tags today. I should grab us one before we leave. So there's going to be something revealed, and it's big. We have the world here and the moon. So it's like something that's unseen. Okay. Well, this might even be part of the paralysis too, is that you're afraid of the things you don't see when you're making those decisions. Okay, spot on. Yeah, decision paralysis. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And it's like, that making a decision can pull you in the right direction. Like, that you cannot go in the direction you want to go in without making a decision, but it's terrifying. The unknowns are so terrifying. I see strength here. I see Wheel of Fortune. Like, a lot of cards fell. King of Cups. But there is this Nine of Wands again. Look at all these wands in reverse, though. Right? There is a blocking of self, because Eight of Wands is usually like fast moving energy forward. And it's like, whether it's a message or something like that, it's fast energy forward. And it's like holding off on something. It's like being afraid of creating more burdens for yourself, right? Creating more friction with people. That fear is what's stopping you from making these decisions and moving forward. But it's like, I really see you pushing through that. There's the World and the Wheel of Fortune here for you. Like, that is some good stuff moving forward. That's a very good cycle coming in. King of Cups. I feel like, didn't you just have recently, Cynthia, some King of Cups or Knight of Cups maybe come through? So this could be a sign. I see the tattoos on the throat. So this could be a nod back to, there's a crown tattoo too. So it could be a nod back to like a connecting of last week's energy and this week's energy. Of like really connecting between the crown and the throat chakra and speaking how you feel about things and doing it confidently, right? Moving through that paralysis. I have confidence in you, Cynthia. What kind of decisions are you feeling? Is it like little stuff, like scheduling stuff, Cynthia? Because like, like your daily tasks, deciding what task to do first, where to begin. Is it stuff like that? Or is it like the really big decisions? Because it may just be like with Antonia's reading, the little stuff. Yeah, it may just be like a matter of tackling a couple of the things that need to be done and like not taking so much on mentally. I had a really hard time with like overwhelming myself mentally with the list of things to do. And then actually Ava's here, and Ava got me hooked on this app called Finch. And Finch is like a little reward system for like the little things. Just like chores. You get little stupid I always say like this, stupid rainbow crystals. You do a chore and you get a little stupid rainbow crystal, and you can take your stupid rainbow crystal and you can go decorate a little tree house or something for the bird. And it's like, I'm hooked. And my house has never been cleaner. Yeah, Jean, this is a list, right? It helps you. It gives you suggestions for your list. It gives you self-care items in your list. It gives you chores, it gives you, and it just like, since I started using it, Cynthia, like it's less complicated for me to make the easy decision. I'm actually enjoying chores. Like I'm actually loving doing them. I don't even care if I'm doing them bad. I'm doing them. They're getting done. And that may be part of that thing too, is like go ahead and just do them bad. Right? You can always go back and re-clean the counter if you don't do it the best, right? It is. It really is. I'm loving it. My treehouse shows how much I love it because I have made so many extra goals and I'm hitting them. It's like really, really great, like self gratifying, self validating little dopamine hit. It's really do them bad. Exactly. You know? So what if you have 2 loads of dishes and your dishwasher can only handle one? Just do the one. Don't care about where you're going to put the other half yet. Like just do it, right? Just do it. I think I'm going to probably get like a Nike ding. Right, I'm copyright issues for that one. But I think you're going to be fine, Cynthia. I think that if you can just work through a little bit of that decision paralysis with the small decisions, where to put your energy, making these goals. This app has really great goal suggestions, for example. So like if you can, maybe you can Google also, like what are some really good chore goals. You have to be careful because some people, they've got wildly different ideas of what you can be doing with your time or how to do it. Like there's a lot of people who are just die hard and their lists look overwhelming and it didn't help. But if you could just come up with like a handful, an oracle deck. Oh, you know what? That sounds kind of cool though. It's like you antiqued them, right? Like so, okay, so that was Cynthia. Cynthia, I think you're going to be fine. Jean, we're going to go on to you now. I think if you start working on the little decisions and really keeping yourself present, that you're going to start. Well, I mean, both, Cynthia. I think we make things harder on ourselves just in nature of the human experience. You know, but we're also meant to work through those things, right? We're also meant to tackle them and move forward. So, okay, Jean, listening and shopping. Where are we shopping? Are we shopping online? Ava and I like to send each other posts all the time. Little things we want and need. So let's see. Jean, did you have anything specific? True that. Thank you. You're welcome, Cynthia. Those little decisions, as you start making the little decisions, the bigger ones become easier and easier and easier, and that paralysis will start to fade away. And again, I think a lot of it is from conditioning in the past, and the more that you can ground yourself in the current, the better off you're going to be. Ooh, grocery shopping. I love it. Ooh, okay, so Jean Love, do you have a specific question? Yeah, Cynthia, definitely don't be hard on yourself. I'm not going to flip those over. Okay, you said whatever you need to know. I was going to wait till I had the question, the riddle. Well, a dead end in the Pilgrim. It may be time to walk away from something. What that is, I don't know. It may be time to move your energy in a fresh direction, right? And this could be something that's spiritually motivated. Hi, Dawn. So it could be something, and then I see this dead end, right? And it's like this could be the direction that you've been moving in. You may have had a hard time too. This could be, leftover collective vibes too, because this riddle in the dead end, it's like, which direction do you go in? What decision do you make? How do you reconcile with self so that you can move away from the stuck energy, right? But I see this pilgrimage. It's like something's opening up. There's an eyeball in there. And it's like seeing through to the color, like seeing the truth, which again makes me think of the cave allegory from the beginning, which is like having the veil lifted, right? It's like opening up the pathwards forward. The pathwards? The pathwards? Opening the path forwards. The pathwards? That's a great word. Great. Oh, I know what I wanted to grab for you. Sorry. I was looking around specifically for this deck. Yes. Yes, Jean. It's like moving away from something that's stagnant is what I'm getting. Like this pilgrimage is the move away from it. Right? The riddle may have been, the riddle is maybe what direction to move into from here. But I think that this is like the realization and actualization that something is like beating a dead horse or a dead end, right? The riddle could be, where is this? Where is this? Right? This is like that happiness card. Here we had paradise versus, right, the golden mirror. And it's like we know one is this dead end energy, the shadow, right? Keeps us stuck, keeps us worried, keeps us in fear. And this could be like, how do we let it go? You could be asking yourself, how do I let go of this trauma? How do I move forward on this pilgrimage and go forward? Right? Where am I finding this rebirth? So this could be about going within to figure out exactly what it is that you need to cut away and move away from. Let's see. I grabbed the Hermit Tarot. So I'm just going to shuffle it up really quick. I love this little one. But I'm really feeling, Jean, that if there has been some stagnant energy, definitely ask your guides what it is that needs to be cut away. And I'm also kind of getting like a dream energy. Like you might be inspired by something in your dream, or you might receive an answer in your dream about it. You may wake up with sudden clarity, not even remembering a dream. But it could come through to you in your sleep somehow. Time to ground yourself, right? But it came up in reverse. So that may be part of what has you feeling this stagnant energy. It's like this inability to get grounded, to feel grounded, to be grounded. And I love this. What riddle, right? This is taking that time for that discernment and asking your guides, what direction do I move in to get out of this? Where should I be pilgrimaging to? Towards the light, right? How do I move my energy towards the light? Right? How do I put the shades on so that I can see clearly? Right? My daughter's photosensitive. She always has to wear sunglasses outside in order to see it all. I mean, she has very poor vision. She's legally blind. So, but it's like she's so photosensitive, and that's that whole energy of the cave analogy. It's like coming out and being blinded by it. So it's like, don't be blinded on your pilgrimage. Like, be prepared, right? Get yourself prepared and get connected and figure out exactly what needs to be cut to move in that direction. And there is a one of wands on the bottom, right? So that's like that divine inspiration, that spark that's going to come through. I'm really getting dream energy with that. I'm going to get one more. Oh, it went flying. So I see 6 again. So we're looking at balance. It says, I am absolutely in love with you. But I'm really getting that, Jean, this is something that you have to tell yourself. Okay, if you haven't been showing yourself this type of appreciation on a daily basis, that might be somewhere you need to start. That might balance out that energy a little bit for you. Again, I'm getting the vision of the water sink, right? Like the What I'm really seeing now when I'm thinking of the sink, it's almost like the opposite where you get do you know those endless pools? The infinite pools? And it's like the water pours over the edge of it, right? So you may have been pouring out but not open to receive. Okay. And so I think that this is really going to help to open you up to receive whatever this is that's coming. Okay. Just keep cutting. Yeah. Just keep cutting cords. Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm reading Big 1111. Exactly. There you go. Actually, Big 1111. I love the way you said that because I actually listen to there's a cord cutting meditation. I bring it up all the time. It's a Saint Michael, and I can't think of her name, but I really should share it on the community page. If I haven't, I'll go back and look, and if I haven't, I will. But she has a beautiful cord cutting, and it really is like it's something you can listen to like every night. It's not like something that makes you feel like you have to cut everybody out of your life. It really is just about cutting cords with the negativity and anything that's causing that friction and bringing yourself into balance. It's a Saint Michael cord cutting. And it's like I think there's a light meditation and a cord cutting in it. It's really beautiful. I love her voice. I can fall asleep to it. I listen to it a lot at night when I'm trying to cord cut. That's exactly it. It's like, because in any one day you could be, again, fretting about the past or anxious about the future, and you have to cut those specific cords too, right? So that was Jean. Jean, I think you're doing good. Yes, I love the cord cutting suggestion for you. I will definitely share that. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. Share St. Michael cord cutting. And so is Katie still here? If Katie's not, then Jose, you are on the list next. Jose, if you're here. So if Katie speaks up in the next few minutes, I'm going to take a sip while we wait and see if Katie or Jose are here. And then Nightbot, are you still here? Because you're on deck after Jose. So just give the next 3 when I can. These aren't bad vibes, guys. I know it's a heavy energy tonight. It's a heavy reading, and it's a lot of like that introspective shadow work stuff. And I know shadow work can just feel, I don't know. Like shadow work is where we get stagnant, right? Dawn, do you want to be added to the reading list? Let's see. Dawn, would you like a reading? I can add you on after Ava. So I didn't see Jose. I didn't see Nightbot. Cheyenne said she would like to get a reading later. So Ava, that's you. Ava, do you have anything like in particular that you would like to ask? Oh, Free the People, do you want a reading? I'm sorry that you're having struggles. Just whatever rolls. Just whatever rolls, Ava, or no reading at all? Let me dig. Ooh. Okay, just go with it. Okay, I'm going to get the Hermit Tarot back out. Because I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's see. I thought of you tonight when I was picking out decks, actually, because I went over that one that you're always... Isn't this the one that you have? Is that it? I'm always like, when I see you flip from that, I'm like, I need that deck. And then I go back in my trunk and I realize I have that deck. I think that's it. Okay. All right, big 11. I'm going to add free the people to the list. Free the people. You guys are cute. Okay. So who else? Put on the list for a reading. Yes. I put her on there just in case. They can change their mind, but they're on there. So Ava, what comes up and out for Ava tonight? What comes up and out for Ava? Let's get one more. They all jumped out, but they all jumped down face first, right? Or face down. So that could be like almost a fear of knowing what's coming, Ava, which, you know, doesn't surprise me. Definitely more time for healing and rejuvenating. Yeah, look at this. Wait, and I need more time. That's the second time to ground yourself came out. So make sure that for the entire collective, because that's a really resounding message, a repeat message tonight is that grounding, right? So make sure you're getting the time to ground. There's a lot of different ways you can ground. I was thinking about that tonight too. Some things that will ground one person will aggravate another. For example, I absolutely love to play Minecraft from time to time, but I have a friend who just can't get into it, right? So it'll just be like finding something that speaks to you, and it doesn't have to be something that everybody else enjoys with you, right? So I was thinking that earlier today. It doesn't necessarily have to go with you, Ava, but you do have to make time for this grounding. This is the healing stuff. Like, this is that not pushing yourself to do more than you can handle right now. Okay. Which makes absolute sense. Ah, I love you. You are so beautiful. Why do you need me? You don't need me. I love you, Ava. But you are so beautiful. This might be the thing you're called to say to yourself. You may be needing this reminder. And I really feel like this I miss you is in reverse on the bottom. And this could just be you missing yourself, like having this disconnect right now. Okay, so I really see that. Yeah, you do need more grounding. And this grounding is going to help you return to center, return to yourself, get back. See, there's another 8 in reverse here on a split. I'm too afraid to talk to you. This may be even how you're addressing yourself right now in your healing journey. Because I'm not seeing these as being anything that you're going through with anybody else. I definitely see this as like cutting off your own connection with spirit, like the abundant energy of it, feeling like the abundant is lacking. Okay, and I think that by turning it around, by going in and having those conversations that you've been afraid to have with yourself, you are beautiful. And take the time with these conversations with self. Don't rush them and don't have them before you're ready. That's what I'm hearing. But get grounded. I mean, it doesn't stop you from grounding. And the grounding is going to help you prepare for those conversations. Okay? Especially with a lot of things that are upcoming. So I know, you know, the tests and everything and the littles and stuff. So just focus on the grounding and that time for the conversations about what you're going through with yourself, whether it's a conversation with yourself or a conversation with your mom, right? Because that may be something you haven't been willing to do yet that you may want to tackle. I love you. Sending you tons of love on that one. And then we have, I hate to rush on from you. Are you okay? I hope you're okay. I love you. I'm sending you all the extra love. Okay, and so Dawn, unless Cheyenne or anybody else that was there before Seriously, so much love to you. Actually, Ava, it's really interesting because a lot of the people that are here tonight are people that prayed for you back in around Thanksgiving. And so I'm just going to throw that out there that this group loves you even though you don't even know who they are. Like I have asked them to send love and they have been sending it, and I'm glad that you're here to receive it. So, and let's see. Dawn, are you here still for your reading? I'm going to have another sip here of coffee and tea while I wait to hear from Dawn. And then Free the People is up after Dawn. And if there's anybody else that wants a reading or wants to get in on one or has a question, just post it in the chat and I will get to it. I've gotten better since I started writing the list, I think. Sip my coffee. I'm not skipping people like I was the first week. Bouncing all over. Yeah. Ava, I would say definitely, Ava, don't rush talking to your mom. Like get yourself really grounded before you tackle it. I don't see that as being like a hurry up and do it. I definitely see it as a take your time. Okay. So in dead zone. Okay, well, I was still giving Dawn a second to speak up. Just having a little chat with y'all in the meantime, waiting for somebody or questions or ooh, Gurgle. Any questions for Free the People, or is it just what comes up and out? Yeah, I think they'll probably remember because I asked in our other little prayer group. I said that I had a friend who had just lost their mom and that we were praying for you. And it was everybody that's in here tonight. It was actually probably there for it. So I think that's really cool and necessary. You know, I think it's really cool that they serendipitous was the word, not necessary. I was looking for the word serendipitous that you got to make it in tonight. So happy to have you join us. Yeah, the prayer circles over on Sadie's channel are amazing. They really help me. Like sometimes I'm not talking and I'm not like reading. I'm doing a lot of stuff, so I'm not interacting, but I'm there in the background. And I just love the vibe of the whole group, the whole collective. You guys are amazing. You guys are so loving and supportive. And it just really shines through over there and over here. Yeah, it is. It's real. We lift each other up, and I think that's beautiful. I think we need like a community post where we can put all the channel links in one place. Like it's really hard to like check channels when you're in the lives and it doesn't let you, you know what I mean? And then you've got to remember what everybody's channels were and how to find them and where to find them. And I just think it'd be really cool if we had a community post for all of them so that we could just go to them and find each other, you know? Wow. Yeah, I just got to keep sending you more of my content, I guess, Ava, so that it's solidly in your ever-changing algorithm. So, yeah, I love that about the YouTube community in general, Big 1111, because I have a lot of supporters that aren't even spiritual or into tarot. And it's like really cool to like get that vibe of people cheering each other on, like being encouraging and not competitive, you know, showing up at each other's different readings and things and or other, you know, because some of them aren't readers. I follow other music channels and things, and I'm always popping into their chats. I love it. So, stuff like that. Like, I love YouTube is just a different world. It's way more encouraging and open, and you get your trolls, but you get those anywhere. Like, whatever. So who do we have now? Did I get Big 1111? I didn't have you on my list, so I can do you first. I don't think I did you, did I? I just noticed that you weren't on my list. I'm not trying to skip you or anything. So I can do you, and then I'll do Free the People after, because maybe the phone won't be in the dead zone. So let me start with Big 1111. All right. I'm glad you're speaking up because I totally wasn't paying attention to that. Okay. Do you have a Big 1111? Do you have a deck preference? I have a bunch out today. If there was one that you were drawn to, I am more than welcome, more than willing. Oh my gosh, I'm still tripping on my word. I'm really tired. I'm really tired. My daughter's doctor's appointments just take the wind out of my sails. Okay. Awesome. I grabbed, and I don't know, did I use these for you last week? Because I grabbed these again. I'm not really sure why I'm so drawn to them lately, other than they're just really cool. So here's that empty room on the bottom, which is really interesting because I was just talking about the color scientist thought experiment, right? And that whole idea of, do you gain new knowledge when you go outside the room, right? And it's like you may be thinking about stepping outside of your comfort zone to have a new experience, to have a new understanding of something. Whether you're jumping into a new hobby or jumping into a new stream of abundance, something you're curious about that you have no experience in. Okay? That's what I'm getting from that empty room vibe. It's like a curiosity and maybe even a wisdom about something that you have no idea how to. I'm not going to say you don't have any idea how to get started in it. But it's like, so I'm thinking of the empty room, and I'm thinking of like the girl, and it's like she has to have the experience, right, for the information of what having the experience is like. So it's like you have all the information, but you don't have the experience. Okay, does that make sense? I see the forest here, and I know you're huge. You're actually really huge on the outdoor stuff. Okay, so we have the forest here. Look at this, because it's like they're finding something. But it's the village. It looks like they're writing. It's like having a plan. It's like knowing the seasons. It looks like the seasons here. It looks like knowing when is a good time to move. Like when is a good time. And that comes with supporting the whole village, right? Fortifying the castle. Like when is the good time to make these moves to build this up around me, to take advantage. Whether, I don't know if you're thinking about selling or buying a new place. It's like moving from the tent to the castle, right? But it could also be, yeah, Sandy, I can add you to the list. I'm doing personals right now. There is a collective at the beginning too, but I'll add you to the list right now. But what I'm really seeing here, right, is there's definitely this move, and it has to do with that village aspect. It's like the best for everybody, right? It's like what's universally best for everybody. But it's like a question of when to make that move. Or like how to make that move. The empty room, too, that I saw in the beginning, that could be a move. That could be the empty space to fill. Right? And maybe it's the idea of like how to bring the experience of where you are to somewhere new. How to bring the joy and the memories with you of something as you move into something new. I love this energy of moving and growth, Like, I really do see the growth. I don't see it as like a backtrack, but it's almost like maybe a best of both worlds thing, but it comes with planning. Planning around seasons, planning around the growth of the people you're working with, you know. Definitely forward and up. It's definitely huge growth. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in your world, Big 1111, but I see movement, like moving, moving, like planning on packing. It's like, okay, you know what I'm just having this vision of? It's like if the movers have our stuff for a week, let's go camping. Right? It's like planning for this time when you're not going to have access and then having it all line up perfectly when it's time. I'm trying to see what's closer in there. It's hard to say. It's really interesting to me that the castle card doesn't actually have a castle. Oh, it's an eye. That's interesting. And it's closed and it looks like it's bejeweled. I couldn't even figure out what that was. Right? You may be afraid of letting go. Okay. So you've come up with this plan and you may have to allow somebody to do their part of the plan. And you may have to step back and allow them to do their part of the plan. And that may be a huge struggle for you. This is like relinquishing the control over certain aspects of the process. that's that's the mother vibe. You can't help it. Right? You really can't help feeling like you need to contain the entire process for self here, like really take it all on yourself. Which is funny because a lot of the original part of the reading was how can you do that? But I see just the opposite for you. We want to move up and into the village in the woods. Get out. That's so funny. That's so funny, Big 1111. I'm seeing it, but you're having a really, that's so funny, but you're having a really, really hard time letting go of some of the control. Let me see if anything falls around this control. Whoa, everything fell around the control. I see the mountains, right? It may be like the destroyer. Okay, let's see. The queen. The siren. Okay, this may be even like being careful of it. Like I'm getting like a money pit vibe. Do you know what I like? Be careful. It's like you're definitely going to be here. Okay. You might also be expecting people to treat you in a certain energy that you're not receiving in this search. Okay. Like you may be like, or you may have to remember that you are this queen. And maybe remembering that you are this queen is how you let go of that control and allow the, what do they call that when you give other people the delegation, right? You have to delegate some things and you're struggling with that. And I think if you put yourself in the position of being queen, right? When you accept that you are in that seat in your home and your being, right? And that is the role that you fulfill, that you can delegate better. And then these little things, right? Sometimes I see mountains as like something that's in the way, but this could just be like you want to move to the place with the best view, but what if they have tons of mudslides there? Right? So the mountain, this could be like the fears of the things that could happen in the different areas, but this could be also about not letting those fears stop you from getting that place. But I really do see the biggest issue that you're having here is this delegation. It's the delegation of the little things. It's the plan. I love that. I love the idea of a village in the woods and the mountains. It's coming. Here's some prayer energy. And it is coming. Like, I definitely see it coming. If you feel like there's a desert behind there, if you feel like it's been like kind of like you're not seeing the listings that you want to see, they're coming. But I also see down here on the bottom is the shadow, and I also see the king in reverse. So there may be like a tug and pull on this, like, who's doing the delegating of what. There may be disagreements about how to move forward with certain things. Hi, free the people. But the shadow work's going to help with that. Right? The shadow work is definitely going to help with that. And that's really a lot of like going in and seeing where you can let go of control and like releasing that. Free the people just in time. We'll cross big 1111 off. We have free the people, and then we have Sandy after that. Free the people. Did you have any specific questions? That was a good reading, though. I think big 1111 for you, it's all about delegation. But that might be the part of the self-validation that you need, that you are allowed to sit on your throne and delegate from time to time. Like, allow yourself that ability. Like, own your throne. I love that. Own your throne. I need a t-shirt that says that. Right? Oh, good. Good, good, good. I can't believe all that stuff that came out about the castle and the camping and stuff, but that's so cool. I'm so glad it was spot on. Aw, thank you. So let's see. What does free the people want? Do you have a deck preference there, or should I just grab? I think I'll go back to I was going to say the crow deck, so let's go there. Hi, Wild Horse. Welcome. We do love 1111s around here. If you would like a reading, just drop your question. If you don't have a question, you can just ask for a general. And if you're just here to listen and lend your support, I appreciate it. So let's look at the Crow Tarot. So you have the Lovers on the bottom. So, this may be any kind of reconciliation of friction. And it could be even, that same energy of learning to delegate coming through. It's decisions, right? The Lover's card is all about decisions and stuff. It's all about, like, yeah, divinely guided, right? Divinely guided, but nurturing the divinely guided, those decisions. Oh, cool. Welcome, Wild Horse. That's so cool to see you in here. So we have Temperance. Be patient. Was this a nod to the King in reverse? Be patient. Right? So there may be this temptation to overfill a cup. It could be overwhelming for others, right? It could be just a matter of, knowing that to be patient and knowing that you're protected, right? I always get St. Michael vibes. We've got the wings right here. So we have that also. It's like protecting the heart where the wings are, right? So you may be feeling this need to protect your heart on certain things right now. Oh, I see this beautiful card on the bottom, though. We have Six of Wands on the bottom. There is a lot of really great victories ahead, right? Like, whatever this is that you have to be patient about, whether it's your move or whatever else is going on. Yeah, look at this. Four of Wands, 1111. Strong foundations, good partnerships, right? It's coming. It's like you're right on the cusp of this. Right on the cusp of this. This is great. 9 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. That's also beautiful energy. And I see the Hanged Man in reverse. So, like, there are going to be answers coming through real quick here, like enlightenment. Yeah, you're going to feel like there's a time of, like, nothing coming through, and, like, nothing coming to light, or, like, dead ends, right? Like, a lot of dead ends. And it could be, like, banging a head on the wall here. That's what I'm getting. This is like calling you, there's a devil in reverse, and it's like calling you to stay away from, to work on staying away from that dead end energy. There are cups here. There are cups still standing. So like the first 2, 3 things don't go through, the next thing's right behind there. There's another decision. You're like one decision away from it, you know? And it may feel that maybe part of the blockage is that you always feel like you're one decision away, right? And it could be really tempting to like throw in the towel on something, an idea, you know, whatever the process is. But I really see this as being like, that's the time to balance that light and shadow. That's that time to really dig into that chariot energy, and identify your ego, identify what is the trauma response and what is the higher self, right? Like this decision energy is all about that, but also working together as a pair to do that. A lot of times with the Two of Wands or the Two of Swords or whatever, we just have one player. And this is showing two player, and it's like remembering that the decisions that you make affect other people too. Right? And about finding what works out for everybody. I love that. I think that's beautiful energy. It's really, you know, like learning how to, it's really the same kind of energy where it's like learning how to delegate and let go of control of certain things that, you know, might usually knock us off balance. Also, like moving in general creates an instability, that feeling of being unstable, like that. We don't do it all the time, right? We don't make big life decisions like this all the time. And so it's extra challenging, extra overwhelming. And so I would say that a lot of this is just like remembering to let go of that. From the beginning of the reading, we had remembering to let go of the anxiety of what could happen in the future and being in the now. And I think that that's going to be really specific for you going forward right now. It's like staying present in the decision-making process. Free the people, you are not an avoidant, are you? Avoidant. You're not. Stop. Why would I? No way. It's like, no, we're not avoiding making decisions, right? We're not, when, it's really funny because I don't know why I'm getting like this vibe of like, it's like, I don't know. It's like doing something that somebody else wants to do because you know it's going to make them happy, but you're struggling with it the whole time. And it's like, I don't know. It's like you guys are struggling to delegate what to each other. I don't know if I'm making sense, because it's like I'm feeling the same type of struggle going in both directions, but dealing with it in different ways. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I see you laughing. Like I got the laugh there, but what I'm seeing is like, you know, one trying to delegate and the other one being frustrated about the delegation. And I think that it's like once you can get on the same page about why the delegation is occurring, like a lot of that friction might fade away, or should fade away. I don't even want to say might, it will. And it's like maybe you need to be willing to ask questions about why things are being delegated the way they are, because maybe you can even add a fresh perspective of how they can be delegated better. But if you're just like scoffing and being like, fine, I'll do it, that's going to be a struggle, right? Like maybe you have a brilliant idea for how something can be done more efficiently. And maybe that's part of the letting go of control, is hearing about how that delegation can be done more easily. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense with you guys. I hope that that resonates, because I see the big move and the big decisions causing a lot of friction. And I think that that friction will start to melt away when the communication becomes a little bit better. And a lot of that has to do with delegating to each other, as well as letting go of control of this, of every aspect of it. It's like I'm seeing this pull of like both wanting control over the same things, and you have to like divide out and delegate. All right, this is your responsibility and this is going to be my responsibility, and you really have to talk about what those responsibilities are and why you think the other would be better at it. This could be a really great exercise for you guys, for showing each other appreciation. Because if there's something you don't want to do and you think the other person would be better at it, maybe sitting down and talking about how you guys support each other better. Like, why do you think that other person is better at something? That can be a little boost, right? You can create the space to tell each other why you think you're better suited or they're better suited for a certain part of this project. Sorry, Jean. But seriously though, like that's the vibe I'm feeling. Like I can feel this like tug between like delegating and owning your own part of a process. I love it for you guys, though. I really feel like just opening up the communication through this process, noticing when each other are super overwhelmed and frustrated, and agreeing to take a task on that wasn't initially yours may also be something that you consider. Okay. It's going to be about compromise, big moves, big moves. So I love that I love that, though. I don't see anything that's like super scary. Yeah, exactly. It's like seeing the bigger picture because it's the same goal. It's definitely, yeah, exactly, Jean. I agree. Working with each other. And that's what I saw when I saw that Two of Wands, though, is those two crows working together. It wasn't one crow making all the decisions. It was two crows working together to make the decisions and to achieve those goals. I like that. I like that a lot. Sandy, are you still here? I hope that was helpful, guys. Sandy. Ooh, and don't forget to come back and check for the St. Michael cord cutting. I'm going to try to share it right away. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the support this evening. Oh, Wild Horse, you're still here. Thank you. Okay, so Sandy, I'm going to add Wild Horse down under here too. I forgot to add you because my hands were full of cards, yo. All right. Sandy, I don't know if you have a deck preference. Do you want me just to pick one? Do you have a question? That was fun. I liked that one. I love that I had you guys back to back because the energy really fed off each other. That was fun. Sandy is hoping for some good news. Oh, I love it. Should we be, I think about this often and I correct myself sometimes, and it's got to come into the reading here for a reason, but I correct myself sometimes when I'm saying like I hope for something, and it's like, own it. Will you work things out and get back together? That's a very good question, Sandy. Will you reconcile? Will you reconcile? So the earlier reading was all about making sure that you're not too overly concerned with playing fix-it roles, you know, being the people pleaser. My nose is really itching right now, like I want to sneeze. And like it feels like a punch in the face from spirit, Sandy. I'm sorry. But it's like there's something, it's like I'm hearing plain as the nose on your face. Something you're not seeing. But it's plain as the nose on your face, I'm hearing. All right, I'm going to get the Tattoo Tarot deck. So, oh no. Oh no. Well, maybe, Sandy, the thing about the hope, right? And I was starting, before my nose started to itch, I was like talking about how the language, right? And I'm not saying not to have hope, but it's like, are you not confident in that hope? Right? I see 10 in the room. So there was 10 people watching and 10 likes. So it's like, are you in this space, right, of projecting it out into the future? Or are you in this space of what's happening now in your life? Like, what is the current energy? Are you projecting your happiness so far out that it's not, you can't touch it? Right? Have you pushed your happiness into a time that is not allowed to be now? Like that would be, that's like the big thing that's coming up for me right now. Okay, so it was a long-term relationship. And you were 12 years split up, or the relationship was 12 years? Yeah. Yeah. That can be really hard. I have a hard time. I have an anxious attachment style, and it's really hard for me sometimes to to give people that space. I love that. So there, I'm laughing because I have Knave of Wands on the bottom, and to me that's like being impulsive, like impulsive messages, impulsive energy, like that inability to, it's not an inability to reach out, but it's like that fear that reaching out is worse than not reaching out, or vice versa. Like, do they want to hear from me? Don't they? Like that. I'm getting that anxious attachment energy. Like, do they want me to reach out? Like, are they deciding that it's not, are they just like in discernment, or have they already decided? It's really hard, like that energy when other people are making decisions and you really can be in your head about what decisions they might be, you know? Like, that's a really difficult space to be in. Excuse me, guys. So we're asking about, will you guys reconcile? So right away, I do feel the need for you to bring your energy back to present. I am going to ask whether or not you guys will reconcile, but Spirit really wants you to know that in this time while you're giving him this space to come down out of your head about what will be, and realize that you're safe where you are and in what you are, right? And to be confident in that, and to be confident in your wholeness now. That's really going to help create that, so I was talking earlier, like the sink, right? Like as you fill your own cup, it's going to draw more water towards you. It's going to draw more love in. You're going to create a sink for what you want by giving it to yourself, right? You're going to create that vibe. Okay. Do we see reconciliation? So we have 3 of Wands here. We have 5 of Swords. So it's a really big battle. Okay. It's like I really see, so the 3 of Wands came out in reverse, and this could be like, should I stay or should I go? Like, it's usually waiting. I usually think of the 2 of Wands as should I stay or should I go? But 3 is like debating the wait. It's like being in the energy of waiting and maybe thinking about putting an end to the waiting. I would say never be in the waiting energy, right? All right. Good night, Cynthia. Thank you for coming and showing so much support. I appreciate you. I have 9 of coins on the bottom, Sandy. This is really like bold, independent, pre-empress energy. This is really that huge self-care. We have 8 of coins right under that, which is also about like just putting the work in. So this is a lot of working on self, right? In this meantime, while you're waiting, we're doing on the work for ourselves. We're creating that sync. We're allowing that love to flow towards us, right? We can't just constantly like flood out to everybody, right? There would be nothing left. If we could create waves and push it all away from us. This is about sinking into who we are so that we can bring it towards us, right? Instead of pushing it out and pushing it away with the anxiety. It can be really, really, really challenging. The fear of rejection is very real, you know. Well, let me rephrase that. It feels very real. Right? It feels very real. It's not. Did you see that card flip? King of Cups. I think that there is going to be a reconciliation here. But I think that you have to create that sync, right? You have to have it pulling towards you. I appreciate you too, Cynthia. Thank you. So I really do see this King of Cups as being like, you know, I think if you give him this space, you see I see the wings here on the throat. I see a message coming through. I see a conversation being had. I also am seeing a lot of nostalgia. Okay, so there might be a really huge nostalgic vibe here. I do think that you're going to get a message. I do think, yeah. What did I say? Pre-Empress. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. Yeah. I would just let him have his time of discernment right now and pour into self. He's going to get curious. You just have to be really strong. Okay. It looks like there's a lot of stuff here that has to be weighed for them. There's a lot of things being discerned. And a lot of that could be past. It could be comparative energy. So it really is all about just focusing on what you're working on and coming into the present with it. Getting grounded in the present. Not getting too far out ahead in your mind to the future, and not being too stuck in the back, like in your past, right? Oh, thank you, Sandy. I'm glad you appreciate that. But really, I mean, you see this. There's this, you're right here, right? You're right on the cusp. You have that pre-Empress energy, and then the Empress came right out behind the King. You may be really far ahead of him in your healing. That may be the difference between the King of Cups here and the Empress coming out. And so this may really just be, look, they're not even looking at each other. It's really like focus on your own stuff right now. Allow the space for being missed. Right? I'll get one more card for you. 6 of Swords. That's like the second or third time I've seen it tonight. It's moving towards calmer waters. It's like, you know, this new beginning, this putting the friction and things behind. I love in this particular deck, you see the sun coming through. So it's like seeing the sun, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Moving away from friction, moving away from anything that might be toxic and holding you guys back and figuring out what that is. But I think you guys are doing it on an individual level. And then you'll be coming back together. It may just be for a conversation about what you've learned in the time apart. And whether or not it's specifically a reconciliation, it's definitely a conversation about one. Oh, I just looked down. Lovers. Woo! I just looked down on the bottom. Lovers. So there's definitely going to be a conversation about where there can be compromises made and the things that you're both struggling with. I just wouldn't rush it. Okay. I hope that he does reach out soon. I hope that you get either the closure or the energy of reconciliation that you're looking for. There's definitely going to be a conversation about reconciliation. I'm not going to say there isn't or is going to be reconciliation, but I would lean more towards that is, because if you're an empress, who wouldn't, right? like I think that's the point, though, is that as you're they're going to see that you're working on yourself, right? And you're going to see that they're working on themselves. And I think that that's going to be a major factor in how the conversation goes. And this is really funny because this thing happened tonight, guys. My light, this salt light went out. Like 3 nights ago, it was off. And I was having a really hard time getting ready this evening. And it was like the last thing I wanted to do was change the light bulb. And like I made a huge mess digging everything out to get the light bulb. And I reached for the light and it turned on without a new light bulb. It's been out for a week. It's been out since last week. So it's like, something that you thought was dead, like something that you thought needed to be replaced, something that you thought was missing. It may just be, yeah, it may just need a jump start. Yeah, SB, I have time. I have time for another one, and it is free. Did you have a specific question this evening? I have a little bit of time left. I could do another one. I see 11 guys, 11 watching and 11 likes. So that's another 11. I have wild horses, 11 next, and then SB, I can add you. Good night, Ava. Love you. Sending tons and tons of love. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Of course, because I love bomb you on the daily. You guys, I know I'm always telling you guys not to love bomb, but I break the rules for Ava. So I will always love bomb my girl. We have known each other for so long now. I see, my daughter is 13 and we knew each other long before that. So she's going on 13. It's true. I do love Bomber. I'm not even exaggerating. Okay, SB, Wild Horse, are you still here and did you have a question? I'm reading now. So if either one of you have a question. Okay, SB, what's your question? If you let me know now, I can write it down and then it's just there and ready for the next. I'm just waiting to see if Wild Horse has one. Excuse me, guys, while I get another sip and cough and do all that fun, delicious winter stuff. Okay, Wild Horse, do you have a specific question or do you just want to see what comes up and out? And if you have a deck preference, I have tons of decks here. And I don't know if I have what you prefer, but you might be surprised. There's a lot of stuff here. Following the muse. Music. Okay. You know what? I have a really great deck here that makes me think of music a lot, and I'm going to grab it and go completely off script for the rest of the decks that I pulled tonight. Give me one. I'm just sipping some coffee here. Oh, yeah, we can do those ones. I love those ones. Let's do those for sure. And actually, I feel like I have another one of her decks here somewhere. It's an animal deck. I haven't used it much. I'm not that confident with the animals, to be honest with you. I always end up cracking the book out, and that's probably why you guys never see them. So they're beautiful, though. The artwork is really, really beautiful. They have other decks I want to get them. Let's see. Kiwi. All right. The jamming, I have a few readings ahead of you. I'm just sipping so that I can refresh my voice before I do the next one. But I'm writing you down. And I'm going to write down your question. And if you're still here, will Fatima contact you? So SB, will Fatima. Jamming's question. Oh, Kiwi, that's a good one. Kiwi interested in something meaningful. Okay, so we'll go back up to Wild Horse. And Wild Horse, you said anything? You have an open request. Sorry, I'm a little wheezy, guys. It's my asthma. It gets dusty in the winter, and my breathing. I feel like I'm heavy mouth breathing at you guys. It's not intentional, just so you know. I'm not perving on you. General and music. Okay. I have something else I want to read for you. I'm being called. It's funny because I almost grabbed this deck before I got started tonight. And I didn't, but it's the... And a past life deck. I don't know. I'm feeling these two right now. Pick one. Life, purpose, or past life. Here, I'll shuffle these while you think. I could pull from both. We'll see what I'm called to in it, but just for starters. Life purpose, okay. The underworld. You see the underworld on the bottom. So it could be a call to be getting grounded, but it could be like a call of expressing your shadow side through music. I don't know if you've thought about expressing the shadow side as much. You know, a lot of people, well, it can go either way with music, to be quite honest with you, but it's like using it as inspiration, right? You are your own vessel. The message is contained within. And it could be really about, I know we talked earlier in the general reading, you weren't here for that, but a lot of it was about that self-actualization and that shadow work. There's the shaman, also more dark, right? Like pulling things out of the dark. You might get an idea for a song or something in your sleep. I know we had a little bit of that sleep energy come up earlier too. The ocean. Yeah, this is like asking you to draw from your own personal experiences. Okay? Not writing about things you're unfamiliar with. It's taking that. See, the shaman and the vessel are still on the bottom there too. But it's like taking that energy, those things that you know about yourself. The shadows, there may be things that you feel vulnerable about sharing that you're being called to include in your music. And you may be struggling with that right now. I'm hearing mother wounds. So we have agape, which is like that. It's kind of like a divine love. I don't know if anybody else can define it any better than I, but it's like a love for the sake of love. It's like a very pure, unadulterated love, right? The snake on the card. Yeah, you know. And the hand is reaching for, what is that? A golden, it's a golden something. It looks like a golden globe, but it also kind of looks like a golden apple. And there's like a genie lamp. I'm sorry, I had to take it off screen so I can see it because I'm old and blind. But there's a genie lamp over here too. And it's like being careful. You see the skulls there too. It's like really go within before you make any huge decisions about working with anybody. But I'm really seeing that there's this mother wound right here. There's this mother wounding here. And it's like this is something that you're supposed to be drawing on for your music. Thank you. That's what I thought. That's what yeah, the highest form of love. It's like the most unconditional love, right? It's the most all encompassing. It's like that universal love vibe. It's like the love that the universe gives itself, guys. It's like the love that you give yourself too. And that may play into that whole Phoenix rising energy we had earlier. That allowing the happiness and the joy in. Right, but I really see this as being like drawing on your own experiences. I'm seeing it drawing on like a mother wound of sorts. It could be a relationship with your mother. It could be a relationship with, if you have children, the children you have. But I'm getting more like a relationship with mother. It's weird because I'm having a hard time like getting the words out, like clearing my throat for it. And so it may be something that you've struggled to express with your music or you've been avoiding to express that you're really being called to, and you may have been fighting against it. I would say go with it. It's a gem. Right? Whatever this experience is that you're meant to draw from, it's a very emotional one. You know, the water in the tarot and the oracle is all about emotions. And this vessel may be like something that you've just started to dip into the source for yourself, right? But this is really asking you to deep dive. But there is a real gem back there. Like there's a really great song in there for this. There's a really great vibe coming through. And it's going to be, I love this because it's going to be a really great healing process. It's going to be transformative. We have the mystic and the healer here. Right? So there may be a topic that you want to write about that you've been avoiding because I don't know if you're afraid of how it's going to be received or even how you feel. You know, like if you're singing about something that you're so emotional about, maybe there's like even a cover song that like you can't get through without crying. And it's like, let's look at that. That's the, you know, that's how I'm seeing it because I love cover songs and I sing along with everything. But sometimes a song comes up that I can't get through. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Well, that's great confirmation. Yeah. Yeah. So there may be some little gem in your lyrics, some little gem in your music that you haven't like really tapped into the source for. And it may be hard for you to do that because it may be something you're super emotional about, but I'm hearing that the process is going to be super, super healing. So let's see what's in this life purpose. I love this. Okay, so there's options on this split, which we had a lot with the scales earlier and justice and like bringing balance in. So it's consider the career possibilities that are open to you. So yeah, I still see that as being like sitting down and thinking about Whether it's a topic that's difficult that you haven't been willing, you may even have a song that you've already written. You might want to think about this. This is yoga, and it says your life is enhanced by yoga, stretch, and exercise. And I really think that might be a call to ground while you're going through this process, which is something that's coming through big tonight for a lot of people, like a collective vibe. So leadership, take charge of this situation. It's a cute picture. You know, I really think it's just something that you have to grab. Yeah. It's going to be something that you're kind of struggling with, but it's like you just have to bring it forward for yourself here. You have to be your own leader, is what I'm hearing in this. Like you have to just pick up the flag and forge forward. It's going to be really, really healing. Right? We have counseling here. It says you heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. So there's something about this in the music. Okay. You are emotional. Yeah. So there's something about this in the music. It's either bringing a gentle, nurturing vibe that hasn't been a part of your music, right? It could be bringing that in. But there's something really healing here about the words that you're using, like words of affirmation, words of self-actualization. This is, and then right behind that, it says let go and time to decide. So this really is that shadow work, like going in and figuring out that gem, that unicorn of a song that you have. I'm telling you, it's going to come from literally letting go. Whatever that let go energy is. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Yes, I can get you on the list. I do have, yes, SB, I have you already. I hope that was helpful, Wild Horse. See, am I saying that right? Yeah, Wild Horse. I didn't know if it was horse or horses, and I was just being blind over here. It is horse. Okay, let's see. SB, Pisces. I hope that resonated. Okay, Bluebird, I'm going to add you to the list. Just give me a moment. Where'd I put my pen? Okay. SB, I have your question. So Bluebird. So I have SB. I'll have Bluebird. I have Sup Force. Sup. I'm just going to call you Sup. Sorry. Yeah, Sup, you're already next after SB. Sorry, I'm reading and writing and reading and writing. So okay, Sup, do you have a question? And SB, will Fatima contact you? The question was, will Fatima contact you? Let me figure out which deck I'm going to get your answer from. I'm not being called to anything specifically. So I'm probably going to use the Hermit Tarot right here. Here we go. I feel like we just talked about work study last week. Didn't it come up? Oh, okay. Did it, okay, so we talked about the work thing, Bluebird. Did you find out about work study yet? Oh. It's really hard to work those things in together, huh? I still say it's, you might, I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't qualify for scholarships. Because scholarships, you have to write for those, and there's so many different kinds. Like, they might not have an obvious one, but you can Google scholarships and find a lot of different ones. I do remember that you said you were on some kind of like a plan with the school, right? Like, they're watching to make sure you get back on top. Ah, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying is there might be some that aren't so much the merit-based ones, but you have to really dig for them. You have to seek them out. And they'll require writing essays and stuff about why you feel like you're deserving of them. Because there's a lot of other ways to get that. Oh, Bluebird. I still feel like there's got to be a way to get them. Just it's not going to be as straightforward as you hoped it would be. But let's go. I got to go back to SB, but I'm going to put you on the list, Bluebird. So SB, and then we have the jamming, and then we have SUP, and then Bluebird will have you after that. Okay, SB, will Fatima contact you? I saw that. I look like the grounding. Oh, seek professional advice in reverse. It's like, what are you asking me for? I'm sorry. I'm going to put it back in. Let's do it again. I just thought that was really funny. Let's see. Will Fatima contact you? Will Fatima contact you? SB. Is Fatima going to contact SB? Yes, but not right away. They're really undecided right now. Yeah, nah. And it says, please give me time. I never felt this way before. So I don't know if you guys had a breakup. I don't even know if the person is still in here. SB, if you're still here. I don't know if you guys had a breakup or if there's something you're trying to get up off the ground. But I'm not feeling like you're going to hear anytime soon. I don't think it's an instance of you're not going to hear from them at all. I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I see need more time on the bottom. I don't know what this gossip card is about. And I feel like if there's something happening and it's upsetting for you, don't spread it around. It's like avoid the victimhood mentality. Okay, because I feel like if you're looking for some sort of connection with this person and you're putting it out a vibe of not being accepting of who they are or what's happening, that it's going to affect the opportunity you may have coming in. Okay, gossip only hurts more. So it's like if you're really frustrated over not being connected with this person, see, wrongful advice came out twice in reverse. Okay, so it's like watch who you share or ask for. I'm not saying necessarily a reader, but let's say that you have a friend that you share everything with. They may not want to see the same things for you. They may give you wrongful advice because it may be their ego. They may be jealous and not even realize that they're giving you bad advice on something. Okay? So SB, I see that they may message you, but it's going to be down the road, but it's not going to be if you're gossiping about them. Okay, if you're gossiping about the situation, if you're gossiping about the people involved, whether it's people they're involved with or people you're involved with, I would nip this in the butt. Don't talk to people who aren't involved directly in your situation. Okay? Because they may not have your best interest in mind when they give you this advice about it. But I say give Fatima time. I think you will get contacts. I just don't think it's going to be right away. Okay, so jamming. Jamming, are you still here? Oh, you're welcome. I hope that was helpful, SB. Really, you know, it's easy to complain and like kind of info dump on friends. It's really easy to do that sometimes. And I'm just getting the feeling that it's like, try your best to, because it's like if something's going on that you don't like and you complain excessively to your friend about it, and then you're trying to mend it, right? Over on the other side, you're trying to mend it. That friend could bring some of that energy back to you where it's not mended, where it's not healing, right? So it's really about, oh, my ear's ringing. So it's really about checking yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I just heard. So it's literally the check yourself before you wreck yourself vibes. Like make sure that you're not projecting those wounds and trauma out in ways that it's going to come back and bite you later. Does that make sense? Okay, need more water. I'm so wheezy. So, the jamming. Okay, that was SB. So the jamming, you're here. And your question was, is Kiwi interested in something meaningful? I am going to... We already have those three. We have three of the cards out from the general reading, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to get into this deck. I love this deck for these kind of answers. Let's see. I'm using the Love Oracle cards. Oh, Beach Time. Beach Time Soul. Beach Time Soul. Is Kiwi interested in something meaningful? Is Kiwi interested in connecting with jamming in meaningful ways? Ooh, Stabbed in the Back came out. Ooh. This may be a warning for you about letting fears from your past affect your present and your future connections. But let me see what comes out with it here. So Stabbed in the Back says heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Sunglasses says watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. I want to get one more. This doesn't look like particularly beautiful energy, but this could also be you looking for... It's like you looking for all the red flags, you know. It's like, I know that when you have an anxious attachment style, you catch things quicker. Or like you obsess about the little things more intensely. Like you might be so focused on the red flags that you can't enjoy the process, right? Oh, that's really hard. Yeah, I have been there and I have done that. So acts, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. So I'm sorry. And my throat chakra is like really, I'm having a really hard time with this one. This right here, it's really interesting because I'm not getting that this is kiwi. I'm really getting that this is past experiences. And I'm seeing this boat with the sail, and it says receiving what you need, progressing, arriving, moving on, and closure issues. This is that Six of Swords that's been coming up all night. And it's like moving away from this energy. And I feel like as you move away from this energy, you're going to get this clarity. You're going to get this, yeah, healing is right behind it. Okay, so let me ask one more time. Because kiwi, I'm assuming kiwi is the incoming and the new, right? And not the past, right? I just want to clarify before I get another card. Is kiwi the past, or is kiwi like somebody new? Are you saying the past? I'm sorry, because I asked both. Excuse me. Kiwi is the new. Okay, so I see Girl with Snake just came out while I was waiting for that answer, and it says empath, the narcissist paradigm. So this is still your past coming through. And I think what this is really just a call for you to keep doing that cord cutting and that healing energy to move away from that past energy. It's really weird because I am still not getting anything on kiwi and the new. And I think it's because of this past energy. I don't think I don't think it's because excuse me. I don't think it's because there's not something meaningful with kiwi. I think it's that you can't be open to receive something meaningful with kiwi at this time. And it's because there's this. Yeah. When this gets cleared up, you're going to get more clarity on the situation with kiwi. Let me try specifically just to draw on kiwi and not on you. Okay. What is kiwi's current energy? Truth. Truth and revelations. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, excuse me, force, honor, protection, power. This is not a bad energy. Okay? So it's like you're going to be able to enjoy the refreshingness of this transparency with kiwi, but not unless you can let this go. Right? Not necessarily these healing hearts in the boat, but I just mean that's part of the process. That's like the bridge that's going to take you from this to this type of clarity, okay? And this type of willingness to allow it to unfold for you. I think he's definitely interested, but he's not, okay. Definitely interested, but it's not like, I'm not getting the feeling that like there's a rush for the healing. Okay. You may be picking up as an anxious type that they're frustrated that your healing isn't occurring. And so there may be something that you need to work on there with yourself. And you may need to sit down and talk to them about that. I see options, but it's like, so there's keys on rings, but it's in reverse. It's like options in reverse. Like, I don't think this person is up to anything super sketchy. I don't get that vibe at all. I just see that you have a lot of healing before you can really be open to accepting it fully as something beautiful in your life. And that is like seeing through your trauma. Like, like your trauma's a lens, right? And it's like as soon as you can take those glasses off and get that clarity, this is sooner you can take in all the colors of the future. I'm hearing, because we were talking about that earlier, like you could start allowing yourself to experience the colors, right? And if you have to go back to the beginning to understand what I mean by that, it was back in the beginning I talked about it, you know, like that new information of experiencing something beautiful. Like you have to be open to that, and it's hard to know what it feels like if if your previous experience wasn't like that. So it's hard to discern, and I don't blame you, but I'm not seeing anything sketchy. I'm not seeing anything forlorning. I see patience, you know, and I see you doing the work and taking the time to heal that. Okay, Sup, are you still here? Yes, I agree, Sup. Reiki definitely helps. Sup, did you have a specific question? I would scroll way back, Sup, but I'm not gonna. Sorry. Did you have a specific question? I'm sorry. I'm gonna have a sip while you type. Yes, Bluebird, you're after Sup. You're at the end of the list for now. Unless anybody else comes in. If there's anybody else there that wants a reading and hasn't spoken up yet, now is a good time. Ooh, my kombucha has a little bite tonight. It's it's very colorful. It's a very nice batch of blueberry kombucha. It even looks blue in this light. It's so pretty. For you and G, intentions, like G's intentions for you. Let me see. I'm going to grab the Kipper. No, I'm going to grab the Gilded. Yeah, Big 1111. This was a really great batch of kombucha. I like the cranberry, but there's something about the blueberry. I make it more often. I think cranberry is like a seasonal favorite, but that blueberry hits any time of year. Ooh, boobies. Boobies, boobies, y'all. Watch out. Boobies. Hey, you may have this fear right now that they are into you for the wrong reasons. But I'm hearing that the intimacy is a... sorry, Sup. I wanted to look back down and double check who I was reading for. So you may be feeling like this person is in it for the wrong reasons or like focused on the wrong stuff. But I feel like that's not the case at all. I feel like intimacy is their love language. They may not have a very good way of expressing that. It may come across as like crass or like overly sexualized or something. But I'm getting that it's part of their love language. I hope they're not breadcrumbing you, though. I just see these mice. It's like you may also be caught up on small details, right? A mouse can do a lot of damage with just a little effort towards one little detail, right? Like just so it's like making sure you're not nitpicking something. Or like making sure you're not destroying it from the inside, you know. Oh, there's a message coming through. I don't know if this has been a time of silence or peace between you, a time of discernment. That you may not be hearing from them as frequently as you once were. And that may be something that's confusing you. It may have you questioning, questioning their intent, right? I'm getting the vibe that it's just discernment. Yeah, I like this ring on the bottom, right? But I'm drawn to the 25, which is a 7, and 7 to me is like going within and discernment. But it could be like discerning the commitment, right? So if this person is pulled back, I wouldn't take it personally. I wouldn't take it personally at all. I think that there's this big point of discernment going on right now. And I feel like this is a collective vibe. Like I've been hearing, look, the fox came out. That's very interesting. So it was in reverse before, and it could be like, yeah. And that's okay because I think, in the beginning it can be really exciting and you can spend a lot of time talking and then you can get overwhelmed, right? We have another 7 here, but I'm going to tell you it's the snake. Like, there's a snake here, right? But I'm seeing this like warning, don't bite your own tail stuff. But this is also like a figure 8 of abundance, right? And it's like blocking your own abundance. I would give this space for discernment. I do not get the vibe that they are being sketchy either. Yeah. That's okay too. Like I've had similar experiences. And it's like you're working on the friendship foundation. Right? It can be really hard. I see this kid on the bottom, but there's 2 4s here. But it can be really hard to not want to rush forward, like full steam into something. Oh, look, double 4s. And this is really just asking you to slow down and pay attention to the details so that you can enjoy them, you know? Yeah. Focus on that foundation. Between the 4s and the 7s, I'm getting a lot of this. Is going to take some work, but it's going to be beautiful. Like there's a lot of great opportunity here, but it's really going to start with that basis, that foundation, that friendship. And maybe that's something that you need to do is shift the perspective from relationship to foundation. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like stay present in it. Especially if there's stuff you enjoy about it right now. Stay in the parts that you enjoy. Like, I don't know if you have, I'm an anxious attachment style, so I get really anxious. Yeah, here's 42, and it's a compass. And it's like that not knowing, right? But this is also like that careful planning. And again, we've got a 4 here. And the 4 and the 2 together is the 6. And the 6 is all about getting that balance, right? We were talking about that earlier, that moving towards calmer waters and something. And this could be something that you're being called to do internally. And like find your calmness and get yourself grounded in this so that you can just enjoy it where it is and not worry about. I feel like when you worry about where it's going to go, you kind of destroy where it is. Does that make sense? So it's like, it's really asking you to like enjoy where you are in it. Yeah. Yeah. Allow it. Allow it to happen and allow it to happen without expectation of whether or not it's going to work out. Right? Yeah. Overthinking. Yes, it really does. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's okay to have a plan and it's okay to have an idea of which direction you want to go in, but you have to also be flexible and you have to be present where you are to take those first steps. Right? It's not going to magically, you can't just magically wake up the 2nd or 3rd week in something and have it be the perfect situation. Like everything is known and like, it takes time. It takes time to get to know people. It takes time to build that kind of connection. It's not something that you know usually about somebody right away. And here's a 6 on the bottom too. And this again is moving from storm to sun, right? Moving away from this anxious, unsure energy and stepping into the sureness of self, like being so sure in self that it doesn't matter. Right? Sup? Like being so sure in yourself that it doesn't matter whether or not they have you because you have yourself. And I think when you can do that, you're going to move into that space where it's like you can accept where it is and enjoy it. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonated too. I don't see anything sketchy. I haven't really seen anything come out super sketchy tonight, except for the past energy for, who was it? maybe the jamming's past energy, right, was coming up, but I don't see anything in this situation that would lead me to think that you're on, okay, I was going to say on the wrong path, but I'm being reminded to say, and I just had this conversation earlier this week, you're never off your path, right? Like you can't be on anybody else's path. There's only one path for you. And it's like being confidently on that path in the now is going to help you tremendously with the anxiety about what's to come. Oh, I love that though. I love that for you. And I feel like that's really been a collective thing that has resounded tonight, is being grounded in the present and being grounded in the now. I think with the new moon in Aquarius, that's really fitting too. So, excuse me, guys, the little water bear there. So, Bluebird, are you still here? Bluebird. Sup, I'm really glad that resonated. Come back and let us know how it goes. Make sure you like and subscribe and come back. I'm always here on Sundays. Or I'm trying to be always here on Sundays. So, gosh, I was homeless for a time too, Bluebird, and that's really, really hard. It's a really, really hard place to be. Okay, Jean, thank you. No, Bluebird, you're okay. I mean, that's what our whole collective community here is for, supporting and lifting each other up and seeing each other through these kinds of things. I'm wondering, though, if maybe the focus on school is misplaced at this point. And I know that sounds horrible, but, like, is it something that you can work on? Can you get out of... Okay, so you were on academic watch, right? Whatever they call it. Is there any way to, say, take part-time classes that you can pay for? You said you have a full-time job, right? Is there a way to take part-time classes while you're working full-time until you come off of that restriction? Like just a way to get your GPA up? Yeah. That sounds so complicated. And there's no like, so do you have a family? You're living in a hotel, or are you just there by yourself? I'm sorry, I have a bazillion questions, but I'm concerned about your well-being. I mean, that's really expensive. And it's like, it doesn't seem like it would be suiting you as much as like having an apartment, right? Because like a hotel is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm seeing like, I'm really just seeing like putting school on the back burner so that you can get your house situated, like your home life situated. Let me get a deck on this. We'll go into the Kipper. And I'm not like fully on the back burner, but like part-time. Yeah. So, when I lived off grid when I was in college, I had an 8 foot by 10 cabin in the woods, and I didn't like have running water or anything. And I would like sleep in my car a lot because my cabin was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from campus. And I would always like, I would like sneak into the dorms in the morning and use the like community showers. I don't know why that's like, maybe that's something you could do. Like, if they have a gym on campus or something, if you can stay part time until you I'm getting your exhausted energy coming through. And it's like, it's like giving up on a dream, Yeah, Bluebird, I'm serious. I used to do that all the time. Whether it was over at the gym, right? Because as a student, I had access to the gyms and stuff too. So you could use the gym locker rooms. But I actually found it like that the dorms were cleaner, like the bathrooms in the dorms. And it was really easy to like just walk in when other students were coming out. And I broke a lot of rules. Like, I'm not trying to tell anybody to break rules, but I'm telling you that for what I needed, it was, just think about it. Just think about it. It was helpful. It was helpful. Shower, exactly, Big 1111. That was my favorite part of the week, was when I'd get that really hot shower with running water in a heated building. And I didn't have to melt 3 gallons of snow to take a porch shower in 20-degree weather. Because that's what I used to do. I used to get one of those 3-gallon square jugs and fill it with water and heat it on my wood stove and then shower on my porch. And, so those sneaking into the dorms it was crucial. But, that's also like just goes to show like being able to balance the school and the hard stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm a water baby. I'm a Scorpio, Bluebird. So like, I have 3 placements in Scorpio. So the more water, the merrier. I like really love the feeling. There is a way to do this. I do still see a pathway. I do see it's going to take work. There's this 35 up here. There's going to have to be decisions on things to change. There may have to be a decision on waiting for something to come through. Waiting for the solution. I still say there's other scholarships that you may not have considered yet that won't be through the school or something you have to seek out, like private scholarships. And there may be some that are merit-based, but there may be some that, because you're homeless, because your income, because you work full-time and go to school, Yeah. Yeah. So this is like the message of concern, and this could be like the not knowing where it's coming from since you received that message. But I still think that I still see this pathway. I still see this pathway coming through. You are going to hear something from somebody. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Jean, is there's got to be somebody, and this official person coming out right now, I would be calling, like, I don't know who you've reached out to, Bluebird, but like in our county, we have like a special program, Oswego County Opportunities, that helps with a lot of stuff like that. And they don't necessarily help you with um, the financial aid for school, but they help you with like this program in particular might help you with a down payment on an apartment and your first month's rent. Like there's like if you could just get that type of help, it could free up some of the finances you're using for that. So I would seek out, there's another thing to consider would be like Catholic Charities, like speaking to somebody there. And the thing with Catholic Charities is they usually have a list of other services and things. So I would definitely be looking into the stuff, the programs that aren't directly associated with school and students, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, with Catholic Charities, they might not be able to help you directly, but they might be able to push you in the right direction. And then, like, if you find another program, like ours is called Oswego County Opportunities. I don't know what it would be in any other county or any other city. But, like, if, for example, like, if you were in with the program at OCL, they might be able to get Catholic Charities to help you with furniture. And it's like you can get these services sometimes to work in tandem with each other to help like close the gap on what you need. Yeah, so child came out, and I really just feel like this is just a call that like you're not feeling safe and supported and loved right now, and I just want you to know that you are. Like I understand that you're really struggling to feel it right now. Okay. But there's going to be a huge shift coming through. It's all going to be about like really tapping into those resources that are not yet, that you haven't thought of yet, that you haven't considered. Yeah, it might be a little change in direction. I see these nines here. These are both nines. And we have this change here. Okay, and it's like moving toward, yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel loved and supported here, Bluebird, even though I know you're struggling in other places in your life. Like, we really do love and support you, and we hope that you find your way through this. I'm not seeing anything hugely alarming. You may have to pull your focus back and take some part-time classes while you sort out the home situation. I really feel like checking with Catholic Charities. I don't know where like, who does the welfare in your area, like the different types of social services. But I would check with them because there's emergency funding, especially in the winter, for housing. I don't know where you are, Bluebird. If you've never accessed those programs before and you're in authentic need of help, you might want to look into them. See, I don't know. So here's the thing, because I'm not feeling that you wouldn't be able to get them. I just don't think you're going to get them through the traditional routes. And I think that came up last week too. And I think that you might be able to get on some programs that pay for other things that are going to free up money for school. And I think that's what I'm thinking about right now. So like the welfare, the Catholic Charities, the reaching out to these different community-based programs that can help get you off the street, that like doing that is going to help free up the time, the money, and the resources to redirect on, even if it's part-time, getting your classes in. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Jean, is like if you can get focused on that housing situation, then that's going to free up the resources for the classes, the time for the classes, that have the energy back, everybody needs a space. Everybody needs their own space. Like, I'm really sorry you're going through that, Bluebird. I don't see it as being a forever problem, but I do understand being there in that. I had to get a lot of help. Me and my daughter were homeless, so I've been through it and I know how hard it is, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, there are programs out there to help you. Okay? I accessed them all. I'm still accessing a bunch of them just to stay afloat. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to reach out. I definitely say start with Catholic Charities because somebody there is going to know what other programs there are available. So even if they can't specifically help you, they're going to know who can. So the local social services, you could sign up for HUD. There's usually a really long waiting list for HUD, but getting on it, like just getting yourself on there gets the wait started. Yeah, Jean, that's also an option. Yeah, Bluebird, definitely. I know around locally where I am, I'm spilling coffee on myself, guys. I know a lot around locally where I am that it's really like, it was really helpful. Like, it was exactly what I needed. I don't know that I started with Catholic Charities, but they definitely gave me a lot of help in the beginning. Oh, that's a good one, Jean. The military will pay for school too, if you can handle it, if you have the gut for it. And the knees. I don't have the knees for the military. My knees have been shot since a very young age, so. Yeah, I felt that one too. So, all right. Did anybody else have questions? I hope that that was helpful, Bluebird. I wish that you had gotten better news. I still say that you're going to find the resources. You just might not find them as quickly, like as in a timely manner as you want them to happen. And oh, I'm sorry for that, but I do think that you're going to find the resources, that you're going to be able to rebalance it, but it's going to take a lot of extra work while you're going through what you're going through. Would I get dropped from your courses? I mean, if you don't pay your financial aid, if you don't pay for them, they'll drop you, right? If you dropped part time, Bluebird, would you be able to afford them on your full time job? No. Mm. And I know it can be really hard to leave and go back from school because that usually messes with financial aid too. That happened to me. I had to leave and go back. And then it messed everything up. So that was really, really complicated. But you're not living, is your mom living with you? Is that what you meant about unofficially? Like I don't understand why you're paying somebody else's bills if you're homeless. Like I understand wanting to take care of your mother. Don't take that the wrong way. But like if you can't meet your own needs, how are you supposed to meet others? You know, like how are you supposed to fulfill needs outside yourself? Yeah, Jean, exactly. Like I can imagine situations where that might be necessary, but it would have to be like, so you're homeless together. I just don't see how that's your responsibility though, Bluebird. Like you are your responsibility. How, I'm sorry, I don't mean to ask anything that's really like personal, but how old are you? Because I don't think that it's your responsibility. Hi, Ratika. Would you like, if you have a question, you can go ahead and put it in the room. I'm only going to be around for about another 10 minutes or so, but I can get one more reading in. Then I have to go take care of my daughter, guys. She is so patient and understanding of the time I get to spend with you guys. Yeah, Bluebird, I understand like wanting to care for others, but if you can't care for yourself and they can't care for themselves, you can't put it on you to lift you both out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's any kind of, I'm sorry to say this, Bluebird, I don't know if there's any kind of like passive aggressive guilt being put on you, and that could have been part of the reason why I'm having a hard time with the throat chakra. There may be an instance where you just have to stand up for yourself so that you can focus on school. You shouldn't be paying anybody else's bills is what I'm saying. Ooh, are we looking at a fresh contract coming in? We can look at that. That sounds interesting. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Let her. What happens if your mom disowns you? You don't have the responsibility that was never yours to begin with. Bluebird. Right? Like if your mom is really like I can tell you how many times my mom disowned me and I turned out just fine. Like I'm just saying that like sometimes you have to put your foot down on that kind of stuff, and it might be something you want to look into, those mother wounds. I don't like that guilt, that passive aggressive guilt. Wow. That's when I start taking the bus. Seriously, I would never let anybody do that to me personally. Yeah. I think her mom's human too. I'm not saying mom isn't human, but like you can't let other human beings project guilt on you all the time. Like you can't do it. I don't care if they're related or not. You know? It's one thing if you're lifting each other up, but if you're just paying all the bills and you're not being lifted up, that's another thing. Like it's about like pulling your own too. Like I don't like guilt tripping moms. I wouldn't stand for it personally. Yeah, it's a really hard decision, but absolutely. Okay, so let's see. I agree that moms are human too, but I mean, they shouldn't be projecting their trauma onto their kids. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's a huge issue, Jean. All right, good night, Bluebird. I hope things start to turn around. I hope we get some better news from you soon. Yeah, right? Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like nobody needs a mom who's always making them feel guilty about not taking care of them. It's the mom's job. You know, we have a college student here that's barely not a teen, you know, just coming into their own, and it's not their responsibility to raise their parent. Like that's all I'm saying, you know. Raise yourself at that point. At 20, you could be responsible for yourself. But for a parent to think that a kid needs to be, yeah, yeah. I agree, Jean. I agree, Jean. But I like that feeling of like guilting somebody into doing something, or like I couldn't imagine telling my daughter that she would no longer be my daughter anymore if she didn't take care of my needs above her own. I think that that's like the vibe that I'm thinking of. Like, I couldn't imagine. That's a lot of wounding going around, you know? And I wouldn't project it on anybody. And I wouldn't let anybody project it onto me, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, I am on Bluebird's side for sure. Yeah. So, Ritika, your question was about the contract, right? Let's get the Kipper on this one. And the question was, are you going to get signed to this dream job? Are you going to get signed to... Let me make sure. I felt like a card got left in there. No? You crossed all your T's, right? That's why I was like, I look back in. You worked really hard on this. Like, it was like I'm getting like this long process to get this job. Like many contenders, many people up for the same position, many people in the first interview, many people probably in the second interview. You will be getting a message. You will be getting a message. So if you're waiting for a letter, like an offer, I see that coming in. It could be a call on the phone too. I see a phone in that card. I don't know if you see that. So there's a phone there too. So it could be a letter or a call. You may be called for another interview. Yeah, they may yeah, you may get called for another interview unexpected. Maybe somebody even higher up has to make a last decision kind of thing. So don't be surprised if that happens. Yeah. Yeah, Jean. I agree. I'm like they're healing, the healing needs to be had all around there. And we are only working with one half of that, like information, so we can't really say how or why the mom is projecting. Ooh. Ooh, lots came out. So main mal. I thought at first when I saw this come out that it was the wealthy man. So I was like, you're definitely, but I definitely still see a message coming through. Okay, it's this very like businessy feeling. Let's see. That's funny. I did say wealthy man, but mature man came out. So this is like a decision that has to go from one to the next. It's a long one. And it involves many people making this decision. Okay, so if you haven't heard anything yet, I would not get nervous. Now I see a dichotomy here. Okay, I see like we have over here a house and marriage. And we have over here thief and despair. And it's like you're putting so much weight on this decision that other people make. And that's where that anxiety is really coming from. Is it's like you think it's going to be one or the other, but it's going to, I don't really think that that's going to be how it plays out. Hold on, let me see. Will you get this contract? I don't think that your happiness depends on this contract. Oh, poverty came out in reverse. I don't know if you heard it ding off the light bulb. Poverty came out in reverse. And I liked the ding because it was kind of like a little bell. And let's see what else came out. A mature woman. So it's like there's like the decisions that are going to be made are going to be very mature ones. Wealthy man on the bottom of the deck. I know I mentioned it twice. This is a big decision. A lot of people are making it together. It's going to take time. Okay. This is like a whole committee for hiring going on here. But you have a very good standing here. We have high honor. So they see you as a highly good competitor for this position. Like you are in the top there. Okay. They're holding you, and I see 2 7s here too. I really feel this energy of them feeling like they can work with you. There's gift down here. So I really do think you're going to be getting an offer. There's not just gift. There's a money bags. Oh, it's not money bags. It's a light. Oh, that's cool. I never noticed that before. It looks like a money bag down there. But it's actually a lamp. But I'm seeing like you're going to get an offer. There is going to be an offer there for sure. But it's going to take a little while. But you're in really good standing right now. Right? Just take care of yourself in the meantime. Yeah, don't worry yourself sick over it. Okay? Don't make yourself sick over worrying about it. Just be confident that it's coming. Yeah, look, just be confident that it's coming towards you. Sudden wealth. Right? Try to stay on the, try to, oh, I'm sorry. Try to stay on the positive side. I'm not laughing at you being sick, but that was an unexpected confirmation. Yeah, you worrying about this is really what's hitting your immune system hard right now. So the quicker that you can come away from worrying about that, the quicker you're going to come into feeling better, feeling healthier, and being ready to accept this offer. It's a big decision. A lot of people are talking about it. Okay, it's not just one person making this decision. It's like at least, I'm getting at least 3. It could be 4. This could be a voice of reason in there. This may not be you. This could be just that final say. It could be the whole committee, right? The entire smorgasbord of people that know what they're doing there. I do see some 6s, which is balance, right? So I have a 5 and a 1 here and a 6. So it's going to be like these people are going to balance it out. Might have to worry about this dude. He's a 13. No, I really see you getting an offer, but I see that you have to like kind of come down out of your head about what the offer is going to look like or when it's going to come so that you don't worry yourself sick over it. Yeah, probably your new HR. And like, a lot of times just making the offer, there's a lot of logistics. Yeah, there's a lot of logistics that have to be lined up before an offer can even be given. I knew somebody who they weren't sure if they could even get a promotion in the company they were in because another job that they had on the side was conflicting. Or it was like, how do we combine the position they already have with the new position we want them to take? Like that took a lot of finagling in HR to see if they could work around it. So, yeah, I see it coming in. Like I see it coming in. I think you're going to hear about it. I don't see anything. It's not going to be too far out. This is distant horizon in reverse. I don't think you're going to have to wait too long, but it is a big decision for the company. So they're going to take their time with it. And your homework assignment is not to stress yourself out while you're waiting. And then come back and let us know what happened because we want to know. Make sure you like and subscribe. I don't know. Let me see if I can think of a good deck for this answer. I don't usually, I stay away from time sometimes because it could be just a matter of like how soon can you get your own energy in check. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the quicker you can forget that you're worried about it, the quicker the call will come. Does that make sense? I have somebody that's always like she's always booking readings to ask about when something is coming or when it's going to happen, and it's like as soon as you stop asking is almost always the answer. And I hate that. Because I like clarity too. I watch readings for the same reason, guys. you know? So, I'm just gonna, I'm pulling another card right now. I'll try to get how many days. I'm actually feeling that it's gonna be outwards of, it could be like a week or more. Like it has to go through a lot of hands. Like a lot of, they have to talk about, you're not the only candidate they're talking about. I'm not reading what they said. I just wanted the numbers on the cards. So it could be 5 days. I say, so there's a 15 on the bottom. So it could be like 5 to 15 days, but I'm seeing more like over a week. Ignore what it says on the card because that's not why I'm using the cards. Yeah. So I'm seeing between a week and 2 weeks, and there's a 2 on the bottom too. So with the 15, I'm leaning more towards like 12 days in my head, and I don't know why. If it comes on exactly 12 days and you get that offer, please come tell me. Please come tell me. I usually try to stay away from time. I've only had a couple experiences where I've been asked to give timelines, and I've had some really great success with it, but I do try to lean away from it because energy is always shifting and changing. So, all 3 of them could agree tomorrow that it's not you and then change their mind the next day, and go back into deliberation about it and then decide it's you a week from now. So it's like, yeah, I try not to obsess too much about the timeline. Stay on your personal timeline, right? Focused on self. Don't get sick. If I heard you're sick right now. The reason why you're sick right now is because you're taking a hit in your immune system over the stress of this. So really try to de-stress over it. Give yourself some spiritual baths. If you have Epsom salt and things like that, it's going to help you feel better. Okay, so I have been on for 3 hours, y'all. So I think that I'm going to call it an evening. I don't think I had anybody else after you. Did anybody else come in? I think we're all set. And thank you so much for the subscribe. I appreciate you. Definitely come back and let us know when you get that offer. Don't forget us. I really do feel like an offer is coming in. I just think it's going to take a hot minute. You're welcome. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, everybody who came and supported. Remember that if you're out there in the universe and you're not feeling loved and you're not feeling supported at this time, that That's what we do here. It's our specialty. So, come on in and visit us, and we're going to send you all the love, and we're going to send you all the support, and we're going to help lift you up and into your highest timeline, because that's what we do here. That's what we do. So have a great night. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Big hearts. Yeah, it's a process. It's all a process. So, we're all in different parts of our journey, and we're all working on different things and walking in different directions, and it can be really confusing and overwhelming, but I think it's coming. Have faith in yourself. It's coming. All right, I love you guys. Antonia, me too. I'm heading right over to your channel there so I can check it out. I have to write it up though. Let me write the whole thing out before I go, because I'll forget as soon as I close this chat window, and I'll be like, what was the name of it? No offense. I just have really bad short-term memory sometimes. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you. You see my scribbles? You see my scribbles? I'll see you guys later. Good night.